Turkish Airlines is incredible. I flew their most modern economy product earlier this year, and wow, their service blew me away. Not only is it miles ahead of European carriers, but it is a strong contender to be one of the world's best economy classes. This is Turkish Airlines on their brilliant new A350 from Singapore through Istanbul and onwards to London. I'm glad you're here today. So, let's get checked in. Welcome to one of the world's best airports, Singapore Changi, where I'm just checking in for my entirely daytime flight to Istanbul. Yes, there was a fairly long line, but it disappeared quite quickly. Singaporean efficiency at its best. So I really like Singapore for their carpets that they put on the floor because that definitely reduces the noise. I also really like the fact that they have security really close to the gate, which means you can buy stuff before you go through security. I know some people don't like that, but I really like that because that kind of reduces the time that you need to spend at the gate drastically. And our gate is in C1. Okay, so today we are flying from Singapore Changi Airport, and interestingly, they have security directly next to the gates, which I would say is good because that means that you don't have to, get rid of the water before you actually have to board the flight. Anyway, our flight today is taking us from Singapore to Istanbul, and then I'm flying across to London. Now, my expectations are quite high because Turkish Airlines is ranked one of the best in the world, especially for catering. So I'm expecting pretty good food, and it's a full service airline and the flag carrier of Turkey, so I am expecting to have good seating and good service. So I've heard quite good things about Turkish Airlines. Now, I don't know whether that's going to be true for this flight today, but I'm hoping so. And my plane is boarding at 9:45 because our flight has actually been delayed several times. Once by half an hour, and now around 20 minutes. Let's see, how's this flight going to do? We'll see. No, you are not having a nightmare. This is not an American airport. This is still Singapore Changi Airport, but at the gate. It was incredibly busy, and we didn't start boarding until at least 30 minutes after we had gone through security. Now, bear in mind that we were some of the last to get through this mess. That's a problem of security at the gate. So much crowding. But anyway, here's my aircraft for today. A 4-year-old A350-900, registered Tango, Charlie, Lima, Golf, Delta. Look at how beautiful she shines in the sun. But enough dilly-dally, let's get on board this bird. So the security was pretty fast, honestly, and now the area around here is really crowded because everyone's come in at once, and the plane is not done. It's not ready to board yet. Here we go. Okay, so this Airbus A350 comes configured in two classes, economy and business, with 32 seats in business and 297 in economy. This is a fairly high density aircraft. My seat today is one of the TSI Epianka seats, which in the A350 are arranged in a 333 configuration. All economy class seats come with a personal entertainment screen, more on that later, a seat recline of 3 inches, and a USB-C and USB-A port per seat. Nice. As well as this, the seat comes with a fairly standard tray table and seat pockets with extra compartments to store things such as your phone. Ooh, individual air vents. Now, on my seat, I found a small pillow with a nice reusable cover and some on-ear headphones. Though a bit plasticky, they were better than the ones given by Saudia. Oh, would you look at that? We're already pushing back ready for Istanbul. And while you're here, look at those brilliant winglets on the A350. I've always loved this aircraft, and getting to fly this again is such a gift. Oh, can I mention this video has no involvement with Turkish Airlines? Ha! Like they'd even notice me. Right, yes, now for the IFE, which is quite responsive and contains plenty of stuff. A great amount of movies, a nice amount of TV shows, live TV, a great kids section, and a very large video games section, which did include Monopoly. I enjoyed playing that with my brother. As well as this, it also had a state-of-the-art in-flight mapping system, which I used a lot during the flight. As this is the A350, it also came with a camera attached to the outside of the fuselage. Oh, I love the A350. They have a live camera. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful camera. Oh wow, hold on, wait, it's already time for takeoff? That was fast. Well, I mean, that is the magic of YouTube editing. Obviously, the taxi wasn't that fast. What did you think? Okay, so directly after takeoff, the crew came around and handed everyone the menu for today's flight. Now, before you go and think this is business class, it doesn't include any ordering or any of that shenanigans, but instead outlines the meals that we would get for this flight. I know that most airlines don't do this for cost-cutting reasons, but don't you think this is something everyone should do? It really gives a peace of mind that you know what you're going to eat during the flight. And then we decided to go for a bit of a stroll round the cabin. And now for the famous toilet review, which for some reason I just could not, for the life of me, capture the audio from my microphone. So you'll have to stay with me in voiceover. This toilet was at the very back of the plane and was surprisingly large. As always, the toilet was clean and I never saw anything disgusting, as one would expect. Really, nothing that special, but at least it had some nice soap. Okay, lunch has arrived. They are serving a really nice fix up for the lunch. So, I got the rice option. There was a rice and fish option. The fish looked alright, but the rice looks like that. It's quite nice. It came with a bread, some cake. I don't know what that is. Salad, and whatever that. I also got an apple juice with that, and there's Lurpak butter. Now this was catered by Do & Co. and Turkish Airlines. Turkish Airlines food is usually incredible, so I'm looking forward to eating that. Another thing though is that it came with a real plate and real metal cutlery. Okay, so it's time to try the meal. Here we have a nice rice dish with mushrooms, and I believe that's corn and whatever that is. So let's try it. Okay, so it is different to a typical, Southeast Asian fried rice, but it's not bad. It comes with meat inside the actual rice dish, which means that if you're vegetarian or vegan, you can't really have this. It's quite good, honestly. Oh yeah, it also came with a bread. So I'm gonna enjoy this, and you carry on watching this video. Leave a comment if you think this is a good food.
And then, around an hour after the meal service, something strange happened. The lights were suddenly dimmed, and the crew came around demanding that we all shut our windows, which of course I at first declined. But then a few different crew members came up and really demanded that I close my window, as, and I quote, "everyone will sleep." I found this very strange, as really we had just taken off in the middle of the morning, and we were going to arrive in the evening with quite a day flight ahead of us. Now, after this, I didn't really see the crew at all, until the breakfast meal service. So what on earth were they doing? Maybe sitting on their phones in the galley?
Hello! So, the crew have just turned on the lights, or well, half an hour ago. But, I do just want to mention that, look at this! Food has arrived! Woohoo! So, now, if I have a look at the menu, which they handed out earlier in the flight, we got a before landing seasonal fresh fruit. Here, we got assorted cheese. Here, we got either a cheddar cheese omelette or a waffle. You can read that. And butter or jam. And bread, obviously. Now, what I really like about Turkish Airlines is that they come with metal cutlery. Okay, it is now time to try the waffle. So, I believe, let's have a look at the menu. And Do & Co catering, they always make a good idea. So, this waffle came with vanilla sauce, which, I can definitely see, and raspberry coulis. I'm guessing that's like a jam? Okay, yes, that is the coulis, the jam, and then there's the vanilla dressing thing. It also, this comes with metal cutlery, and I'm going to try this. Okay, so I don't think I should open the window because it's incredibly blinding, like the sun. But I am going to be trying this waffle provided to me by Do & Co. Of Singapore, that is. Let's try. Okay, so the waffle is pretty stale, but I like the flavoring. I haven't tried the vanilla yet, but I know the raspberry tastes good now. So obviously Do & Co catering is famous for their food, which I am very impressed by, obviously. So yeah, well done to Do & Co. Singapore. Okay, right, my
Look,
seatmate
I filmed
is
an
just-
entire segment about this amenity kit here, but I found it really quite dull to watch, so let's just run through the contents quickly. It all comes in a nice themed bag, with really nice Turkish symbols on the outside. Inside, there is an eye mask, some lovely bright red slippers, really comfortable socks, a nice toothbrush with toothpaste, and lip balm. They come in several covers, and I think they're a great addition to the service, really making the airline stand out in a sea of really bland beige carriers. Looking at you, Lufthansa.
Really? Wait, hold on. Oh, come on.
Shani, anything you want added in there?
Turkish Airlines, Panasonic.
Oh, would you look at that? It's an Indigo 777.
Yeah. Where you going?
Welcome to Istanbul, whatever the name is, airport. Time to leave the plane. Not long connection. Oh, welcome to Istanbul International Airport. It is my first time transferring here, at least the new terminal that I can remember. And we have a very short transfer, or at least that's what I can tell, to my plane to London. Whew. I can't remember whether it was a 320, but I'll find out. Okay, so we just got through transit. Oh my gosh, we've walked a little bit. Now we're just gonna quickly hop into the lounge and then right back to wherever my gate is. Where is that? So you're gonna get a bit of a lounge review. Okay, no lounge now because we have just realized that our gates are on the opposite sides of the airport. So we just came from the B side gate all the way down on one side, and then we have to go to the F gate all the way on the other side, which means we have to track this whole terminal area. Why have they made it like this? Why can't they whoa-wee. Well, turns out there's an airport museum. Things you learn every day, honestly. Right, this really feels like a shopping centre now. There's like restaurants everywhere, there's like 2 levels, there's thousands of lounges, there's billions of duty free. And, well, would you look at that, we're nearly there. My legs definitely hurt, but that's probably not just from this, but probably from, you get it. This design, I believe, is meant to emulate, I don't know, a flying carpet, a traditional Turkish carpet. I don't know. But here we go. F-gates. What's good about this airport, especially Turkey, is that when you transfer, you don't really have to go through anything. No passport control, no nothing. Just check your boarding pass that you previously had gotten from your previous flight, previous blah blah blah. Go through security, and now you're walking through that shopping centre mall like terminal. The humongous one. I mean, it's not a bad terminal. It's quite good, well designed, but geez, it really. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It's very aesthetic. But it's not good for the legs. The queue is long. Ready to board this plane. I doubt I'm sitting on the window, but who knows? Probably not.
Okay, so, welcome on board this beautiful Turkish Airlines A321neo, registered Tango, Charlie, Lima, Papa, Kilo, which has a 3-3 config, with 162 TSI Epianka seats in economy class. Each seat has a recline of 3 inches, comes with its own 12-inch HD IFE displays, and has USB-A charging, as well as a universal power port.
Because I don't want more trouble with my little brother.
My colleague Captain Furkan Ahmet Berke, we are in command of today's flight. Our flight time to London Heathrow Airport is 3 hours 35 minutes. After preparations, we plan to start our flight in about after 20 minutes.
Hey, welcome aboard this Turkish Airlines A321neo flight. So I am now sitting at the window seat, which is great. So this seat is quite good, honestly. Out of all seats, I would happily sit here for any hour flight because in-flight entertainment, it's actually really good. It's literally the same as my last flight. The seat is just slightly more bare bone, you know, less stuff. But
it began with a grain of wheat in the heart of Anatolia. It drank from the waters of Mesopotamia and blossomed under the sun, needed with curiosity. 12,000 years ago,
and basically the seat is nearly exactly the same.
in Anatolia.
If there was another advert. Okay, no advert. But everything's basically exactly the same, you know. Individual air vents, personal lights. What else is different? I mean, the window's smaller, but I mean, that's what you'd expect on a small plane. So the flight is only 3 hours and 35 minutes long, or at least that's what the flight director thing just said. But yeah, so although they did give us worse headphones. Yay. Oh yeah, the headrest adjusts. So, welcome on board this Turkish Airlines A321 Neo flight. I believe this aircraft is nearly brand new, because would you have a look at that? Everything looks nearly brand new, honestly. But I'm not expecting much from this flight, honestly, but because look, the IFE is really, really good, honestly. Seating is like not the most comfortable, but it's not that bad, honestly. So, yeah, this is just a, you know, quick 3 to 4 hour flight, 3 hours and a few minutes, you know. And I'm gonna be home in no time. Just a quick disclaimer, this was filmed in winter time, which means I am dreading the freezing weather that awaits me back in England. Yay.
This flight was somehow 4 hours long, but that passed very quickly, in my sleep of course. Now, there was a meal, but I just didn't wake up for it. I'm told it was a very nice pasta, but, I mean, here's the landing. Wow, that was fast.
Karşılaşmayı diliyoruz. Layıkla yerinizde kalınız. Kemerinizi bağlı bulundurunuz ve başüstü dolaplarını açmayınız. Teşekkür ederiz.
Dear passengers, our aircraft has not reached its final parking position. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
So I just realised that they did actually serve food, a pasta or something, but I was really asleep. Apparently it was very good. A pasta with chicken.
No.
A
Pasta with tomato sauce.
A pasta with tomato sauce or chicken. There we go. Got there in the end. Bye. Oh, it's so cold. Yes. Oh, we're in the satellite terminal. Great. Changi Airlines. Okay, just need to get to passport control after doing this whole satellite terminal thing for Terminal 2. For some reason they parked us here even though we're, just whatever. But please leave me a comment on how good this flight was and how good the other flight was.
You are approaching the end of the conveyor.
I'm pretty undecided, honestly. Just be sure that a day flight is very tiring.
Thank you for watching, and have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon.